3 championship games have already been determined, and the other 6 will be decided this Friday night. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into 615 Preps Live, presented by Sellers Funeral Homes. It is Division I semifinal week here in the state of Tennessee, and we're getting you ready for it. Usual suspects all in the room tonight. Night before Thanksgiving and all around the house. We're really hungry and not quite as a mouse, but terrible rhymes. But guys, good evening.
Shameful. Shameful. I think we need to banish you back to Alaska.
Joe, you're wearing Grinch costume at Thanksgiving. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, it's a Grinch costume, but the way it shows on the camera, it just looks like a big piece of watermelon.
God, now I want watermelon. I guess I should show its eyes. There we go.
Ooh, watermelon.
Makes it worse, I think. I don't know.
Oh, it's the best.
Did that come with footies?
No, I don't want to talk about it. It's just a hoodie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anyway. All right, guys. Black Friday football coming up. Got some really good matchups on tap. We'll talk about several and make some picks on who you got. We've got Mr. Football pick finalists we've got to talk about. It's a fun week.
Yeah, it's a big week. Outside of Chattanooga, this is the biggest week of the year. A lot of really good games. We got a lot of teams this week that could, advance to state. We'll see how they do. Massive games. Picking games this week was not easy.
No, there was a lot of possible coin flip games, making those picks and just, how you felt at the time.
Yeah, and of course, where we go statewide, starting, I believe we started this year in the second round. It makes it a little bit more difficult because we have to start studying up on teams that we've not been following all year. But by doing that, it better prepares us to talk about games like this in the semifinals, where we've seen Anderson County now. We've been watching film a little bit. I know I have for like 2 weeks now, where we've seen Sevier County against quality opponents the last 2 weeks. So that better allows us to be able to pick these games from a knowledgeable standpoint.
Yeah. Let's dive into rankings real quick, Joe. Let's start with small class.
Yeah, East Nashville up to number 2 following Westmoreland's loss last week to Marion County. Not really going to dock them. They really tested Marion County. Not a whole lot of shifting in this one outside of East Nashville at 2, but Nashville Christian remains steady at 1, which is probably where they'll be all the way through next December. So,
all right, move on to medium class.
BGA, the big mover here in Macon County, as is Springfield. That 5 spot I tossed up between Springfield and Pearl Cone. I just think the run Springfield's been on right now and what they did last week. Don't get me wrong, what Pearl Cone did last week was also very, very impressive as well. But Springfield going to Shackle Island and absolutely dismantling a really good beach team, it was hard not to put them at 5. And then Macon County's been playing really great football as well. So most of the changes have come in medium class.
On to large class.
No real changes here. I mean, Ravenwood took care of Stewart's Creek. Oakland took care of Riverdale. Innsbrook drops down from 2 to 3. They got handled by McCauley last week. Defensively, they played really well. Offensively, they just couldn't get much going. So, if they take care of business, we'll have a 1 versus 2 matchup in the championship between Ravenwood and Oakland.
We're not going to waste any time. We'll just go ahead and right into our players of the week presented by Sellers Funeral Homes. The 4 players up for it this week. And before I get to these finalists, I do want to mention DeJuan Morris, who had won just a week earlier. Now, ineligible this week because he already won the playoffs, but had 26 carries for 253 yards and 4 touchdowns, caught 2 passes for 26 yards, 63 kickoff return yards in that wild 49-46 win over Riverdale. So we wanted to make sure to shout him out as well. He had won last week, so he's not eligible to be on this week's list, but the 4 that are, Macon County's Gabe Borders, 188 yards rushing on 15 carries and 3 touchdowns. Caught a 32-yard touchdown pass and had 14 total tackles on defense in that 35-19 win at White County. Keenan Chapman Jr. from Springfield had 14 carries for 93 yards and 3 touchdowns, 13 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, and 2 forced fumbles on defense in their 47-14 win at Beach. Nashville Christian's Jared Curtis, 21-28 passing, 235 yards and 6 touchdowns. They won 62-34 at Jackson Christian. Also ran 17 times for 118 yards and another TD as well. Marion Starnes from Pearl Cone, 20 carries, 80 yards, 3 touchdowns, and that overtime win at Marshall County. Also had 2 receptions for 11 yards for the Firebirds. And this one was a landslide victory for Keenan Chapman Jr. He got 56% of the fan vote, and only Tyson's pick kept it from being a complete total sweep.
He's always got to play spoiler, doesn't he? It's the Brentwood in him, I tell you. I'll let Cam defer to this. So I think Keenan Chapman just dominated, just from what I saw. Massive reason why they won that game, and big reason why they've been on the run they've been on this season. So, Cam, I'll let you handle most of it.
Yeah, he just dominant. He was everywhere. I think you said 14 for 93 on the ground. Probably 8 of those carries came on the opening drive. Really helped set the tone for the Yellow Jacket offense, and kind of exerted that they were going to be physical with Beach and wanted to beat Beach kind of at Beach's own game, and they did that. Didn't realize during the game that he had as many tackles as after the game, but he did have very big momentum shifting plays. The strip sack of Powell that was recovered in return for a touchdown really was the final nail in the coffin. But yeah, he was all over the place and really helped set the tone for that Yellow Jacket team.
So with 7 out of 8 votes this week, it is KJ Chapman getting the honors for the Yellow Jackets of Springfield. Congratulations to him. Now we turn our attention to the lines. And we had 5 finalists for that honor as well, presented by Sellers Funeral Homes. We'll start with CPA's defense. Actually, we'll go here. CPA's defense, 5 sacks, limited Boyd Buchanan 214 total yards in their 34-7 win. Nashville Christian's offense had 530 yards, 295 rushing, 235 passing in their win. Oakland had 419 yards rushing, had 483 total offense in their win over Riverdale. Page held Shelbyville to 168 total yards and 6 points. And then Springfield's offense had 421 yards, 379 on the ground, 42 passing, as Cam talked about in that win at Beach. So the honor this week is going to go to the Yellow Jackets. They'll sweep both awards with 62.8% of the vote. It's all Springfield this week in our Players of the Week presented by Sellers Funeral Homes. So congratulations to the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, not going anywhere either. We mentioned, I know I have several times about we're excited about what Springfield has next year. Guys, that offensive line, everybody on that offensive line returns, 4 juniors and a sophomore. So things are looking extremely bright for the Yellow Jackets.
And I moved down in classification. New opponents. It's going to be an interesting year next year for them.
I feel like we have sweeps every week in the postseason at this point. Yeah.
It seems like it, yeah.
And it would have been except for Tyson.
No. I'm saying like the player of the week and the line of the week all from the same team usually.
I get you. I was just have to take another dig.
Take shots where you can.
He's not here.
Yeah, you can't defend himself.
I need to address one of the comments there from Miss Griggs, Mrs. Griggs there on the side there. Yes, yes, ma'am. It was exceptionally good. It was great meeting you and your husband. And no, I won't forget 56.
Boy, he is shooting, isn't he?
Woo! Take those shots, Scott. While you're here, you might as well get them out.
All you had to do was look at the Google Drive that had the roster in it, Cam.
I'll answer Dalton's question. We're going to have picks for all 12 semifinal games coming up and who you got. So just stay tuned for all those. We'll pick all of them. So
yep.
You'll hear York and Marion as well as the other 11. So, all right. Let's hear from Sellers Funeral Homes while we get a moment.
Doing something nice for someone, what a great idea, and Judge Sellers, owner of the Sellers Funeral Home family, is doing just that. The Sellers Funeral Home family, made up of 8 different locations, is proud to sponsor high school athletics throughout the Middle Tennessee area, giving back to the communities that have been so kind to us. That's the Sellers way. Thank you, Middle Tennessee.
Scott, we also have another sponsor coming on board. You want to talk about him?
Absolutely. Destination Athlete of Nashville has joined on. We're really excited about this company, this new partner. At Destination Athlete of Nashville, their purpose is building better communities through athletes. They help athletic teams get to their destination by being a one-stop resource with everything a team needs. Their motto is everything team, everything better. So from socks to scoreboards, from trainings to trophies, Destination Athlete of Nashville is going to solve all your sport problems with a concierge approach. So make sure that you hit up Brian Moyers, Nashville's Batman. I'm not kidding. 615-588-7575. These guys are working for coaches out there and programs out there for everywhere. So make sure you give Brian Moyers a call at Destination Athlete. We're extremely excited to have them on board as a sponsor.
Yeah, they will take care of those Coach of the Year awards for us this year. We are still looking for sponsors for Player of the Year awards. We have a pretty nice little presentation to give those players, and we want to have a sponsor for those, and obviously also for next week for Blue Cross Bowl coverage as well. We are still looking for a sponsor for those. So if you know anybody that's interested, have them get at us, because once we get to next week, it'll be too late.
Yep.
Let's talk Mr. Football for a little bit, because the finalists just dropped last night, and we will go ahead and start in Class 1A. Clay County's Nate Adams, Whitwell's Bennett O'Neill McDougal, and Mackenzie's Tate Serber are the finalists in 1A. Joe, any surprises there?
No, I think this kind of went chalk. You gotta think Tate Serber's probably the favorite here. The South Pitt kid, I guess, not making it is a bit of a shocker, but I think this award is Tate Serber's to lose.
Guys, if y'all want to jump in, just go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, what a year and what a career for Nate Adams. Finishes with over 30 career interceptions on the defensive side of the ball, as well as I think he had 30 some odd touchdown passes this year. So what a year for Clay County, for the Clay County Bulldogs, and mostly because of Nate Adams.
Yeah, that he's been exceptional. But I think I'm like Joe. I think Tate Serber is really the front runner in this classification.
Yep. On to 2A, where it's Fairley's Andrew Johnson, Milan's Jaden Pete, and East Robertson's Casey Young.
This one, it was Isaiah Groves to lose entering the year, and then unfortunately he gets injured, suffers the season-ending injury week 1. Casey Young steps up, though, and has a remarkable year as a sophomore. I think he'll be in this discussion going forward, but my money here would be on Milan's Jaden Pete, a two-way standout for the Bulldogs. He's their leading rusher, leads them in tackles. He just kind of does it all for that program, and they're still playing in the semifinals, guys. I think they got a real shot at Chattanooga, and it starts with him.
Yeah, he's having an unbelievable year. When you think 20-plus touchdowns on offense, 80-plus tackles on defense, having an unbelievable year for Milan and Coach Comer. But shout out to Casey Young, though. As you said, Isaiah Groves goes down. That team, East Robertson, changes their whole offensive philosophy. And Casey had a great sophomore season to lead into a junior year.
Yeah, I totally agree. Casey Young had to step up. They had to totally remake the offense in a different way. But again, Jaden Pete just fantastic on both sides of the ball. Hard to argue with that if that is indeed the pick.
That is a great comparison. Travis Hunter, Milan.
Class 3A, Alcoa's Eli Graff, Westview's Graham Simpson, and Covington's Skyland Smith are the finalists here.
I'll be honest with you. If Graham Simpson doesn't win this, I lose all faith in this committee. 46 touchdowns, 3,300 yards, and 76% completion percentage with no interceptions, leading Westview to an undefeated season. And he's just been incredible. He won the head-to-head with Skyland Smith. No disrespect for Eli Graff. He's had a great year too. But what Graham has done as a freshman at Westview, following in his brother's footsteps, and he left huge shoes to fill. He's taken massive step forward, and if he doesn't win, I truly do not know, guys.
Yeah,
I'm
you don't
afraid.
see seasons like that. Period. Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior don't matter. You don't see seasons like that. It's been an unbelievable year for Graham Simpson and the Chargers. I agree with you, Joe. I think he should be the winner here.
I'm afraid of exactly what the point that you made. Nothing against Eli Graff, tremendous year, but I think the fact that Graham Simpson is a freshman is going to hurt him in this order.
It's awful.
Which shouldn't have anything to do about it, but I just think that those stats are, you can't have those stats on Madden.
No.
Yeah, it's I can't agree more, guys. Yeah, Graham Simpson. If he doesn't win this, I think we riot. I don't know. Class 4A, Anderson County's Waylon LaRue, Greenville's Carson Quillen, and Marshall County's Tyler Thompson are the finalists.
Admittedly, I can't speak a whole lot to Waylon LaRue or Carson Quillen. I haven't seen a whole lot of them this year. I know LaRue's had a fantastic year for Anderson County and a big reason why they're as good as they are. Still very shocked that Javion Kennard was not a finalist, and Gabe Borders or Zach Borders. I think Tyler Thompson's probably the winner here, though.
Yeah, he had a. Go ahead, Scott.
Well, I was just gonna say I agree. I think that Tyler Thompson, he had an exceptional, a fantastic year for Marshall County, leading them. I think, it's hard for me to speak again for the other two regions just as well because I'm not as familiar. But I am a little. That being said, I'm just kind of flabbergasted that neither of the Borders, and specifically Zach, who had a tremendous year, made the list. But I mean, the same could be said about Gabe Borders because he played both ways in multiple positions. I'm just shocked. But then again, I'm not familiar with the other two enough to say that anybody's better. I do know that Tyler Thompson deserves to be there.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Waylon LaRue does everything for that Anderson County team. He runs the ball very well, good at receiving the ball out of the backfield. Carson Quillen is a beast of a running back for Greenville. He's really carried them to the quarterfinal game last week and come up just a little bit short against that Anderson County team. But as you said, Gabe and Zach Borders at Macon County, and I'll go ahead and throw in Bronson Chaffin and Trip Pinion as well. Region 4, 4A. I don't think there was another region in 4A this year that had that many guys that if they were on the semifinalist list, nobody would have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and keep on moving to 5A. Well, it's Brendan Aids and Eric Hazard from Page, and then Southwind's Kelvin Perkins.
You got to think it's one of the Page kids. Perkins had a pretty good year, not like last year, though. And admittedly, I think we all thought that Dominic Reed was the winner last year, and then Perkins was named the winner. He had a great season. What Brendan and what Eric have done this year, it's hard to distinguish between the two. The Page has the best defense in the state, and it starts with those two guys. I think one of them should win. I don't have a preference in who the winner should be. If either one won, I'd be like, you know what? Understandable. I get it.
Yeah, one thing to remember here, if you're a fan looking on the inside here, Ains has been able to run the ball a little bit here in the postseason. Those stats they're not taken into account here. This is a regular season award, so it runs through week 11 of the regular season. So what Brendan has been able to do on offense the last few weeks is not going to be taken into account, which is another thing that, in my opinion, should be fixed. But again, I agree, Joe. I think one of these Page kids takes it home.
I just worry that somehow it gets split between Ains and Hazard, but for my money, Eric Hazard should be the winner here. Just in my opinion, yes, Kelvin Perkins is fantastic, but he doesn't have the same numbers he did last year. Eric Hazard has done nothing but uh, create havoc in opposing backfields. Make it to where they've had to play. You have to account for him on every play. Absolutely. And Ains as well. But, it should be one of the Page players here for certain.
6A looks like this with Collierville's Samuel Rowe, Ravenwood's Donovan Starr, and Oakland's Craig Tutt.
Yeah, 6A I think is the hardest to figure out, guys. I mean, you would think DeJuan Morris entering like Isaiah Groves in 2A. DeJuan Morris entering the year was the heavy favorite. He gets banged up, misses 4 or 5 games, and then you got to pick somebody else. So Craig Tutt's played really, really good ball this year. I lean Donovan Starr here, I think. Just what he's done for Ravenwood's defense and offense. Number 1 team in the state in 6A. They've rolled through everybody they've played. And I think I think this is the hardest one to figure out because Iro at Collierville's had a monster season on defense.
Yeah, it's really tough to pick here. You talked about DeJuan Morris being a shoe-in winner if he was healthy throughout the season. I think the reason why Craig Tutt is here is because when DeJuan Morris went down, Craig Tutt was the answer for Oakland for consecutive weeks there where they absolutely had to have it. But as you said, Donovan Starr, what he's been able to do on defense and on offense, when Ravenwood, they've not struggled a lot on offense this season, but when they have, they've been able to throw Donovan Starr out at wide receiver and just have him run by somebody for a touchdown. And that's what a SEC caliber player like Donovan Starr does. So I would tend to lead in Starr here, but it's pretty close.
I agree. I think Starr should be the front runner. I just think this one's going to be Iro. I think what the numbers he's put up on defense is going to be what shifts it.
I'm going to put Eric's comment up here because he's pretty much right. With the technology available, no reason voters can't submit their picks after quarters or semis. I mean, he's spot on.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take it a step further. There's no reason that it shouldn't be after the Blue Cross Bowl. Move the ceremony back 1 week. Scott, we have stuff engraved for us for our bowl. How long does it take?
It's real simple, guys. What else happens the week of the Blue Cross Bowl? The Writer Association meets for the all-state teams.
Yep.
Why should that conversation not also have the Mr. Football deal? I mean, I don't get it.
No, I mean, Scott, I mean, the awards, how long does it take to engrave for us? It didn't take that long, right?
No. No, if you get them ahead of time, it'll take you about a week.
There you go. Problem solved. Anyway, let's go on to Division II Single A. Jared Curtis from Nashville Christian, Nick Fulton from Tipton Rosemark, and Jackson Christian's Jalen Mosley.
The easiest one to pick. It's Jared Curtis, and if anybody says differently, they're wrong.
I was going to use Seth Rollins, or is it Paul Heyman's line? This is not a rumor; it's a spoiler. Jared Curtis wins Mr. Football.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Mosley's had a good year. Not nearly as good as last year because he got doubled up a lot this year. Teams took him out of games. The problem with Jared Curtis is you can try to take him out of a game and it just does not work. Think this one's easy. Nick Fulton had a great year at Tipton Rosemark, ran for a ton of yards and a ton of touchdowns, just not on a great team. Jared Curtis is on the best team in the state. That would also be a really good D2 AA team.
Jared Curtis got my vote the week I watched him truck a defensive back to get into the end zone. At that point, I said, that is a Mr. Football performance right there. He can throw, he can run, but he can also run you over. And at that point, I realized that, this young man is playing at just a different level.
really flipped a switch this year. Super, super talented, especially from the arm talent standpoint. Make some crazy throws ever since he was a freshman. But this year, he has flipped a switch from a competitor standpoint. It's really taken that team over the top.
And not a bad punter either.
Yeah, I saw Curtis in their losing effort at BGA, and he did his absolute best to try to take that game over, even while they were behind. And yeah, that was all that convinced me that he should win it this year. And that was back, I believe, in week 3. So this really hasn't been a close vote for me even since then.
Chris, can you throw Lawrence up there?
Yeah, I got you. Let me go ahead and grab it.
She makes a tremendous point here. A lot of these really good teams, these really good players, they're only playing half games. So you're only getting half the stats or exposure that you would be getting.
Yeah.
And it's not their fault because there are teams that that they're blowing out and they shouldn't be in there. I 100% agree with that.
Let's move on to D2 AA, where it's CPA's Hudson Chance, BGA's Caden Marable, and USJ's Noah Spencer.
Yeah, I think this is another easy one. I think Caden Marable put up great stats through the year, but head-to-head matchups matter to me, and Hudson Chance won every head-to-head matchup. It's got to be Hudson. And also just the story with him coming back from that devastating knee injury last year and doing what he's done to become arguably the best CPA quarterback in a long, long time. So he's had a remarkable year and a big reason why they've had the season they've had.
Yeah, and over the last few years, the committee has shown that they, as you said, they like the story, right? They want good numbers, they want great character from the player, and they also want leadership. And I think all 3 of those tangibles fits Hudson Chance to a T.
I'll say this, Tony. I'm not counting him out. I also know that they look at the strength of schedule for a lot of these guys, and CPA's played one of the hardest schedules in the entire state. NBA, BA, Pro Cone, BGA, FRA, and they've won them all pretty convincingly.
This is one where I think I don't have a problem with any of the finalists here.
Yeah, I think they got it spot on.
I think they got these all right, and whether whoever wins, I think they've got the right 3.
In AAA, it is Baylor's David Georges, BA's George McIntyre, and Answorth's Ethan Utley.
Yeah, so this is like 6A for me. This was a hard one to pick. Going into the year, I thought this was Shakai Mills Knights to win. Baylor didn't use him a whole lot down the stretch. I'm wondering if they're saving him for next week for the rematch. No, he had a big game against BA last week. David Gabriel Georges has had a monster year. He's only a sophomore. He is scary good. Ethan Utley had a great regular season. His stats may not reflect it, but you got to think this is a kid that gets doubled all the time. George McIntyre ends his career on a pretty good note. I would probably lean Ethan on this one. But any of these guys, it's either him or David Gabriel Georges to me.
Yeah. Again, I think that I was surprised that Mills Knight didn't make it.
During the race, I was too, and then I kind of looked at their stats. They just kind of turned to David Gabriel Georges he became their lead back, which was kind of shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing to think about here, and it's unfortunate. We talked about Graham Simpson being a freshman, but the star factor that George McIntyre has around him as a 5-star, and he was a 5-star, Joe.
I know.
Let's just be real here, and the star factor of it. Will the committee be blinded by that? And that's not saying George has not had that's not saying he's had a bad year at all, but will that star factor alone propel him to a Mr. Football award? Maybe so. But, all 3 of these dudes are going to be playing on Saturdays and probably a couple of them on Sundays.
Yeah. I think this one probably, I would lean towards McIntyre getting it. But just because of what you said, Cam, at some point the quarterback's going to win it. I think this is where it happens. Although I would say that I think Ethan Utley is tremendous, and it wouldn't surprise me in the least if he picks it up.
Joe, it's time for your favorite category, kicker of the year.
Yes. None of our local guys make it, unfortunately. We had some really good guys, but yeah, I think they got this one pretty spot on too. I think it's Elliott Arnold or LaForge at Baylor. I would probably lean Arnold. That's me personally. I've seen him in person. I think he's a fantastic kicker. He's got a really bright future ahead of him, but I could see them going with LaForge here too.
I agree. Just from what I've been able to study on these guys, they got the right three in there. And I think Arnold is the pick here.
Josh,
yes.
Gallatin's kicker is really good. Yeah, Max Kelly is really good. And I'm just wondering why he didn't get.
We nominated him, right?
Yeah.
Yep, he was on our list. Going to be kicking for the South Carolina Gamecocks next year. So,
there you go.
All right. Well, guys, you know what time it is. Unfortunately, we got some apologies to make. Got a few wrong last week. Now, the good news here is that the young ones did submit their videos, even though they're not on the show tonight. Isaac is still MIA. I'm still trying to figure out where he went. I have to send out a search party for him. Maybe CPA Man can help. I don't know. We'll see.
He did just tune into the Instagram live. So
maybe CPA Man is
got him.
He's got him hostage. You want to go with Tyson first?
Let's throw Tyson out there first.
Ladies and gentlemen, I picked the Cinderella story, and clock struck midnight tonight, all because of East Nashville. Gentlemen, I'm sorry. Y'all are good. Y'all are real good. I can see y'all going far.
Appreciate it, baby!
Sometimes simple and to the point is not a bad thing.
I respect it. Just right to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's get the other guy out of the way too, who just commented on Instagram on Springfield. I'm sorry.
Springfield, man. I thought I was coming home for a great Thanksgiving. I thought I was gonna see 2 Buccaneer football games. As a beach alum myself, but I'm not going to see my Buccaneers play the day after Thanksgiving, and I owe that to the Springfield Yellow Jackets, and truthfully, I'm a little hurt by it, but I also want to say congratulations, guys. Y'all deserve it. Y'all came out there, y'all hit the Bucks in the mouth, and you showed them that you deserve to have this playoff game at home. So enjoy it, good luck, and congratulations. And most importantly, and unfortunately, I am sorry for picking against y'all last week.
That's
Very
good.
helpful. That's a good apology.
Yeah.
KJ, he's a man of his word.
He's a stand-up guy. He's a stand-up guy. Well, we all try to be around here. All right. The 4 of us. Scott, I think I'm going to take you to go first this time.
Who am I apologizing to again?
It's a good question.
Oh, Scott and hold on. Scott and Cam are together, are they not?
Are they?
Apologize to the same one that KJ just apologized to.
yeah, my part's going to be real simple. One of the assistant coaches says he wanted to hear my apology real loud. Well,
All right,
Thanksgiving is tomorrow, brother, and I can't be in the doghouse tomorrow, so I can't yell. She's asleep. But I apologize. Number one rule: when you're a jacket. You never pick against the Jackets. I did that. But, hey, the good news is a year where I've really needed it, I've been able to say, how about them Yellow Jackets?
Solid.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. All right, my turn.
I've got BGA, so I'll go, Chris.
10-4. So you out. Here we go.
Wildcats. Not gonna go into high school musical deal. I'm sorry. I picked FRA. I was there earlier in the season when FRA whooped up on BGA, and I thought to myself, sometimes history repeats itself. And I'm a stupid idiot fool for picking against you. You guys deserve what you did last week. Caden Marable, you had a great game. Arnett Hayes, you had a great game. Locke Kennedy, you had a great game. I'm sorry, and good luck in Chattanooga, where maybe you'll make me apologize again in person. That's all. I'll leave it at that.
All right, Scott.
Who's Scott apologizing to?
Who should he apologize?
I don't think there's any other local teams that.
Out here,
Scott,
let me do it this way.
Scott, who do you want to apologize to?
All right.
We'll let you freelance it.
Okay. Yeah, I had some time to think about this, and I have two schools to apologize to because I've already had to apologize to them once, and here I am again. BGA, I apologize. I thought that you were going to that the clock was going to run out on you against FRA. Clearly, I was wrong. Clearly, you are you are way ahead of where I thought you would be at this time this year, and what a performance. You guys are playing great. I apologize. I'm sorry. I did not see that coming, and congratulations. Springfield, likewise. I mean, everybody talks about the Cinderella story like it ends when the clock strikes midnight. But that's not the way the story ends. It ends with Cinderella going back to who she was and going back home and living happily ever after. And you guys have developed that Cinderella moniker, but in your episode, Cinderella goes back and smacks people in the mouth. You guys deserve everything that you're getting. I'm very sorry I picked against you. And good luck going forward, because you guys have.
Okay. We got his combo win.
There you go.
I guess now it's my turn. All right, Pearl Cone, listen up. I'm an idiot. Full-blooded American idiot. Had no business picking against y'all last week, and yet it did. Thinking Marshall County would beat y'all twice. Boy, did y'all prove me wrong. Stupid. Sorry, guys. I deserve it. Thought about taking a pie in the face, but didn't have time to go to the store before the show. So bottle, I think, works better anyway. Hope I didn't give myself a concussion. We'll find out in the picks. Sorry, guys.
Next week's episode, we get Chris anger therapy.
Yep, with the CPA man. That's what we got.
Golly.
What does he serve as the therapist, though? That's a good question.
Oh, that was something.
Yeah.
I was only about 50%.
Yeah, as somebody that's suffered multiple concussions, I could not do that.
No. I've taken 90-mile-an-hour fastballs to the face before, so that's.
Was that an empty? Was that what flavor?
Yes, it was an empty
prime?
bottle. It was an empty
What flavor
bottle.
prime was that?
Cherry freeze, because it had Pearl's colors on it.
That's a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was the apology of the year, Chris.
It was thought out in about 30 seconds.
Oh, God, I wish you had done the pie, though.
Maybe, you know.
I was at Publix today. I could have gotten you the icing.
Okay. Maybe after Blue Cross Bowl.
We know going forward. We know going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys need to do your apologies on the field at Blue Cross.
Well, maybe we'll have time. Hopefully.
Did one last year.
It's true. All right. Enough of that. Let's get on to some picks. Oh, hey, look at that. Tighten up a little bit again.
What happened?
It's tightened up just a little bit. A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. Some intrigue left over the last 2 weeks of the season. It's not completely wrapped up for you, Joe.
No. It's getting close, though.
Yeah.
Sun's getting real high, guys.
It's all right.
Yeah, I know.
Don't.
How about
So,
icing?
hold on. I just want to add this on there real quick. 685 games.
Yeah.
Name me another outlet that picks that many daggum games.
Spoiler, you can't.
Not
You
happening.
can't. And
How
name
about
another
Isaac
one
making
there.
a comeback on Tyson?
80%. The majority of them are 80. I mean, the worst one we have is 79% correct.
Yeah.
Oh no. Well, as for my friend, unfortunately, I will not be at Page tomorrow morning. I'll be at Macon County for their Thanksgiving practice. So
I'll be there.
Yeah, Joe can take the bag of ice for me. He can bring it to me.
I'll bring it to Lafayette.
Yeah. So that's
Smack
how
him over the head with it.
Don't give me ideas, Scott.
Right. Oh gosh. Yeah. Please don't.
I'll be there to film it.
All right. Here's how the big board looked from last week. Yeah, Tyson. Yeah.
Oh.
That's a lot of red.
He tried.
He tried. Yes. There was an effort given. A for effort, but F minus for execution. My goodness.
God, he would have had quite a few told you so's too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna
How
go.
bad does it have to be a F minus? That's what I want to know.
I'm a harsh grader. What can I say? Going to go a little quick on these out of area semifinal games. There are 6 of them, so we're just going to post them all right here. We'll start Coalfield South Pitt. All of us on South Pitt, and fans are overwhelmingly on South Pitt as well.
Yeah, South Pitt started the year not healthy, down 8 starters, had a rough offseason. Really have found their groove here towards the back half and just rolling their way through the postseason. Really like the Pirates to be able to knock off the Yellow Jackets.
I'm going to pause for this because Toby puts it, I'm breaking the curse. I provide a public service. I'm trying to help y'all out. So You're welcome.
Yeah, I agree. I think South Pitt kind of rolls in this game. Coalfield, if you haven't seen the play that got them here, boy, that was something.
It is a Will Levis type play. Let's just put it that way.
Hey. He hadn't been that.
It's
I'm
true.
talking about the kid from Coalfield. No, I agree. I think that South Pitt, they've been there before. You know, they're the reigning champs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that they're I think 2 years running. So
No.
not 2 years running.
No,
No, that's right.
McKenzie.
2023 and 2021.
Correct.
Yeah,
You're correct.
McKenzie won it 2 years ago. They've played
Yeah.
this game. This will be the second year in a row. If they both make it, that they'll play for the state championship.
Yeah. So McKenzie's trying. I heard this on another show this morning. McKenzie's trying to be the first 1A team to make it to 4 consecutive championship games.
Correct.
Yeah.
The big one that I had trouble with picking here was Marion County and York. I think those two match up really well against each other. York's had a fantastic season after losing the first 2 games of the year, and Marion County got really tested last week by Westmoreland. So I think this is going to be a slugfest. I think I may have been too high with my score too.
It very well could be, but one thing to keep in mind here, York's extra point game is not good. They hit at about a 50% clip, so would not be surprised if the Dragons elect to go for two if they do score. So this one could come down to a 2-point conversion either way. I picked Marion County because I think they have more weapons. It ain't that they have better weapons; it's that they have more of them, and they have a dynamic player in Sam Pickett.
I take that. I took that into account too with my score, 18-10. I think York's defense is pretty doggone good. I don't know that it's as good as last year, but it's pretty doggone good. And I'm going to say that York's defense is able to corral Pickett. I'm sorry, not Pickett. Yeah, Pickett. Both of them, and I think that York gets it done.
Yeah, as for Milan Fairley, I may have been a little conservative with my score. I think Milan wins this one comfortably. I just think they're on a great run. That was one of my favorite programs to cover when I was in West Tennessee back in 2018. I really love that stadium. Great fan base out there. They have to travel to Fairley, and Fairley, it just seems like every year there's something happens to them in the playoffs that you're just left scratching your head at, that they lose a game. But I think Pete is too much for them, and I just think Milan, with Wade Comer there leading them now, I think he gets back to the state championship, leading a really good Bulldogs team.
Yep. And then you look at Alcoa and Sequatchie County. Sequatchie County's been able to win a lot of close games this year. Look for them to try to use a physical style run game and really control the clock to try to keep it as low scoring as possible. But ultimately, teams have tried to do that with Alcoa in the past. They're no stranger to that. I think Alcoa finds a way to comfortably get to Chattanooga.
Yeah, I think Alcoa is. They still have that. Was it 10 in a row on their mind?
Yeah.
And I think that Sequatchie is just the kind of the next victim here.
Yeah, and then you got Sevier County that's coming off two back-to-back just thriller wins. One a 1-point win over Powell, and then a double overtime win over two-time defending state champ Knox West last week in a game where Knox West fourth down attempt in double overtime come up literally 6 inches short. It was a super close call. But the Smoky Bears were able to advance, and watching that game back, guys, they kind of seem like they're a team of destiny to a certain extent. I mean, they've been able to make the key plays when it matters here in this postseason run. This Smoky Bears team, they have a great sophomore quarterback. They have a good freshman running back. They're a team that's not going to go anywhere. And they have a couple of really, really great football players. They're not super athletic. But I'm trying to think of his Costner is his name. He's a great football player. He's a kid that you want on your team. He's not a 4 or 5-star athlete, but he's an unbelievable football player. He's a guy that's going to play hard. He's going to make the important plays. He's fundamentally sound. This Sevier County team, I think I picked it a 6-point game, but it could be bigger than that.
Oak Ridge has had a really good year too. This is a really good quarterback matchup. Stansbury at Oak Ridge has thrown for over 2,000 yards, 15 touchdowns. But Sevier County, there's no dominant team out east like there has been the last couple of years with West and Powell and Central. Sevier, they've done what they needed to do to win games. Oak Ridge is a great place to go play games. It'll be a great atmosphere there. I think they do just enough to get the win here, and then they will take on whoever we have winning.
Yeah, this was the tough one for me to pick. I had Oak Ridge, and then I changed it, and then I had Oak Ridge, and then I changed it again, and then I just stopped. Going back to what Cam said, this does act like a team that is rolling in the right directions and finding ways to win at the right times. And it's kind of hard to against a team, as Joe said, that seems like a team of destiny.
All right, with those out of the way, let's get to the area games that we're going to talk about, and we'll start with East Nashville and Westview. The fans are taking the Eagles, but the rest of us are on the Chargers.
Yeah, my issue with this game, and I think East Nashville is a great team. Westview, I know what games at Martin are like. I know what that fan base is like. And this is going to be a really good test for that East Nashville secondary. They haven't played a quarterback like Graham Simpson yet. They have not played a receiving core like what Westview has. And the thing that East Nashville, and I'll speak to him directly, as much as you want to focus in on Graham Simpson, do not count out Asa Barnes. The sophomore running back for the Chargers has had a fantastic year in games where if Graham is having an off night, they will turn to Barnes and they will, yeah. It'll be interesting. It's going to be a great game. They are not liking our picks on Instagram, guys. I think it'll be a great game. I'm just going to roll with the Chargers.
And you'll gladly get a apology next week if you're able to pull it off. But as you said, they've not faced a quarterback of this caliber yet.
Nope.
Xavier Murray's a great quarterback at Heritage, but he's not a Division I Group of 4 caliber quarterback, and that's what Graham Simpson is. And Heritage has 2 really good receivers. Westview has like 6 really good receivers. They're going to have to score a lot of points to win this game. East Nashville is. Ultimately, defensively, I don't know really what you would try to do to limit Westview. I mean, do you try to blitz him and make him throw short game? Do you, rush 3 and drop back 8 into a zone? It's really hard to tell what to do to defend such a dynamic offense that puts up so many points. I've got it a close game just because Damian Harris is going to go out there and he's going to have his guys ready to go. But Westview just a little bit too much, I think.
I think that the East Nashville can win this game, but to do it, they're going to have to play perfect ball. And they're going to have to do something that nobody's been able to do, and that is pick off Simpson. They're going to have to get turnovers. They're going to have to force Westview into situations and that they don't want to be in, and that is just really, really difficult to do, but not impossible. Do I think that their DBs match up? Yeah, I think speed for speed they do, but this Westview team, I mean, they're just right now they're a machine.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Joe.
I was just about to say this is going to be the best secondary Graham's faced all year. By far it will be. Another thing for me, I mean, the offensive defensive line matchup between the two schools. The thing that Ty Simpson never had at Westview until his senior year was an offensive line. If you go back and watch the Covington games, Westview's offensive line is really damn good. Like, they get a lot of push up front, and that opens up things. They keep Graham upright. He doesn't get sacked. East is going to have to put a lot of pressure on him early on and make him uncomfortable.
And I think they're going to have to win the special teams games.
Yep.
They're going to have to win on special teams and utilize their speed. Coach Harris, as Cam said, he'll have them ready. But as of right now, I just don't know. I basically have a close game, a high-scoring game. Basically, one team runs out of time.
I don't know that one turnover will necessarily do against Westview. I think they're going to have to get multiple turnovers to win this game. They can't have drives just ending in kicks, because if you do, either you're giving up points or you're going to have to start deep in your own end and drive the length of the field. And East Nashville, as good as they are, it's a tough place to go in and win. And you don't want to have a long drive all night long in that kind of environment. And I think they need at least 2 turnovers to have a shot to win this game. I've got it a 10-point game. I could see it being closer than that. I mean, that's a really good coaching staff over at East Nashville. They'll have them in this ball game, but I like Westview in this one. Anderson County and Macon County. That's where Cam, Scott, and myself will be on Friday night. Joe and Tyson are taking the Mavericks, and the rest of us are on the Tigers.
Yeah, I decided not to be a homer here. No, I think this is going to be a really good game. I think it is. We were talking earlier today, and you were saying this could be a shootout. I think this is going to be a defensive slugfest. Anderson County comes to Macon. I think it's a great game, but I think they get the job done. I think they've played more consistent ball all year. Their one loss is to a really good Knox West team that got bumped out in overtime last week. So I think Anderson County probably right now is the favorite in 4A, and I think they get it done this week.
Yeah, I think that this is your typical matchup where both teams' strengths go against the other team's weakness to a certain extent. I think it's a little bit more glaring when you look at Macon County's rushing attack against that Anderson County rush defense than it is when you look at the passing game that Anderson County has against Macon County's defense. I do think that Macon County's defense could be susceptible to big plays, which is not a great thing. But at the same time, I do look after seeing Anderson County. I think Gabe and Zach's going to have great games. I think they're going to be able to run the ball. I think they're going to break off big plays. That's why I do think it's going to be a shootout going back and forth. The atmosphere up there. Listen, I'm nervous myself just to be up there because it's going to be so many people. I have a little bit of claustrophobic tendencies sometimes. There's going to be so many people up there. They've blocked off roads. They're bringing in extra bleachers. It's going to be a wild atmosphere, and if you know anything about Macon County, they are unpredictable. It's going to be chaos from the moment of the first horn to the final horn. And if they find a way to win that thing, it's going to be a party until next Saturday when they make their way to Chattanooga. So super excited to get up there and see history. The guys for Anderson County that you have to pay attention to. You know, Israel Small is probably their best athlete. They do have Waylon LaRue that's up for Mr. Football. Great running back, also plays a little bit on the back end and on defense. Israel Small's their go-to athlete, though. I mean, he's going to line up at receiver. He's going to play safety. He's going to return kicks. He's going to do a lot of things for them. When they do pass the ball, Trent Strickland is the guy they want to go to, 19. You know, he's a really good he's not super fast. He's not super big. He's one of those – he's a Nick Westbrook-Akine. That's a perfect example. He just finds ways to score touchdowns every week, it seems like. But can Macon County, number one, they have to take one or the other away. They can't let Anderson County run it or pass it. They have to take one away and make them one-dimensional, which is going to be really hard to do. And when they do make them one-dimensional, can Gabe and Zach and Braylon Flowers line up and go man-to-man with those receivers? If they can, Macon County is going to win this game. If they can't, it's going to be a shootout, and it's going to be a really fun game to watch.
Yeah, I think that Macon County matches up well with this Anderson County team. But for what Cam said, he's right. Two things. Macon can't afford to go down multiple scores early. But Macon County, more than anything, needs to be true to who they are. Don't try to outthink yourself. Don't try to, do too much. Everybody just does their job. I think Macon County has, got a really good shot win this. They get, they turn the ball over, they make minimal mistakes or anything like that. Anderson County be at an advantage. Anderson County hasn't seen an atmosphere like that, to my knowledge, that they're going to see on Friday night. The good news is it's going to be really, really cold. The reason I say it's a really good news because you're going to have to get you're going to have to get up close to your neighbor because they're going to squeeze you in like an accordion. It's going to be, and there are already talks of people getting there, way too early. And this field at Macon County, the fans are right on top of you. They are right on top of your team and right on top of your sidelines. So, they're intimate, and this is Thunderdome. Anderson County's walking into Thunderdome, but they're walking in as a really, really good team that Macon County, is going to have to play their best ball to beat.
I definitely agree with that, Scott. It is not, however, the best team that we'll have seen this year. That was Upperman 2 weeks ago. And the blueprint for me is the same. Go grind out drives and shorten the game. Limit Anderson County's chances with the football. The thing about Macon County, they can score from distance, and they can also grind the clock out with that running game. And that right there is what you can lean on, especially in the cold weather like they're going to have on Friday night. And I expect Anderson County to put a heck of an effort. And I think Macon gets it done, especially with that home field advantage. Anderson County is going to be really packed in on that sideline where you only have about 6 to 7 feet between the sideline and the fence. And they're not going to know that what kind of environment they're walking into until they get there, and they don't see a lot of room. And this game may be fought in a phone booth, and that's where I think Macon County gets them. On to other side of 4A, Pearl Cone and Melrose. We've all got the Firebirds here, and Joe, you've got them by a couple scores.
So last week I was an idiot and I picked against Pearl Cone as well. I thought Marshall County would get it done, and for about 3 quarters I looked very smart. They were down 21-0, and then they made a great comeback, and now they're riding high on a ton of momentum. So they also did that without Javion Kennard, who is arguably their best player. So he's healthy now. He's back. Melrose has had a great season. Only losses to Munford, MUS, and Southwind. And outside of the MUS game, I think they were all single-digit scores. Jamarian Morrow, the Missouri commitment, is really good at running back. I just think Pearl's been in this spot before. They know how to win. LJ Funk's playing great ball right now, and then you get a healthy Javion Kennard back. Hard for me not to pick Pearl Cone, and I'm not going to pick against them again. So.
Yeah, ditto. I mean, I think when you have events like what happened last week happen, and especially the fact that Javion did not play, this Pearl Cone team is dead set on trying to get back to Chattanooga and defend their state championship. I think they take the next step this Friday night, and we'll see you in Chattanooga.
Yeah, in one respect, Memphis football's back. We're seeing a lot more competitive football in Memphis in the time that they lost. They were kind of got stunted back with COVID and all that back a few years ago, and it took them some time. They're back. Are they better than the competition in the mid-state? I don't think so. And for that reason, I think that Melrose is good, but they're not Pearl. I don't think they've seen anybody with the speed that Pearl Cone has. I don't think they have seen. Okay, Joe's going to disagree with me.
Yeah, Munford and Southwind, I think, are pretty comparable.
Okay, well, Joe differs with me. Surprise, surprise. I think that getting Javion Kennard back is huge. LJ Funk is playing a pretty good ball. He's coming along. But in times like these, I think Pearl will just find a way, just like last week. They found a way to win. And I think this week they'll find a way to win.
Yep.
Yeah, I think one thing that don't need to be overlooked here is the fact that Pearl Cone's been here. Melrose has been here 20 years ago. And that is, that plays a factor. Tony Brunetti, they've done this the last, 3 years now?
Yeah.
So they know what to expect. This Melrose team, it kind of can go either way. Either this Melrose team is going to be riding all the adrenaline and come out on fire, or they're going to come out a little bit shell-shocked, even if they are at home. It's just, natural the way it works. But that's one thing that you can't forget is this Pearl Cone team has been here. They know what to expect.
And to that kind of leads into my point that, Joe said Anderson County was the favorite in 4A. Now, to me, it's Pearl Cone, because now that they've knocked Marshall County out, which was my pick to win the state championship, I think the hot seat goes back to them, because, like Cam said, they've been here and done that. They've been road warriors in these last couple of rounds as well, and these seniors have been there. They've got that experience under their belt. There might be some more magic left in that bag. And all they've got to do is just kind of rekindle what they found last year. And LJ Funk playing better is a big part of that. And I've got Procone. If they get to Chattanooga, they can dang well win it again.
Absolutely.
Switching gears to 6A, we'll get to 5A in a minute. Maryville at Oakland, round 10 out of the last 11 years, and we've all got the Patriots winning this one, but there are some question marks.
Yeah, Oakland's defense scares the hell out of me. They've just given up way too many points the last couple weeks. The past games have kind of torn them up. Maryville can throw the ball around. They can do a little bit of everything. I'm just not going to bet against Juwan Morris the way he's played the last couple weeks. Craig Tut's played really good ball. Kyler Creasy's played really well too. In this game being at Oakland, if this was at Maryville, I'd probably pick differently. I just think the Patriots get it done and are back in Chattanooga in a rematch.
Yeah, and so don't forget TT Hill. TT Hill is back. He did play very sparingly last week, but he did play. I leaned Oakland here, and I actually have them 31 points, a lot of points, but it's a pretty decent performance for that Oakland defense, the way the last couple of weeks they win, honestly. But I think Riverdale has a little bit better top-notch athletes than this Maryville team does. So I think Oakland is able to bottle them up a little bit more. And, I said it 2 weeks ago, Juwan Morris found his stride, guys, and that is horrible news for everybody else in 6A. He's went for over 200 the last 2 weeks. I look for him to go over 200 again this Friday.
What worries me about Oakland's defense is Oakland's offense. They score so quick that your defense is right back out on the field. I mean, they've had so many long runs, and they really need to grind it out and keep Maryville's offense off the field, because their passing defense is not as good as it's been in years past. They give up quite a few passing yards. That's why my score is reflective of just a field goal to win it. I think that Oakland has I don't know that anybody has a better running game than Oakland out there right now, just overall. But their defense just kind of worries me, and it wouldn't surprise me if we see some players that are normally offensive players wind up on the defensive side if needed.
I've got my score a little lower just because last week was such a circus, and I just think it's really hard to pile up that many points 2 weeks in a row. They'll rein it back a little bit and try to sustain longer drives if they can. I mean, if that's going from 45 seconds to 2 minutes, great. But you will improve a little bit when you have a game that your defense played that poorly and still won. And I think Oakland bounces back a little bit more to what we've been seeing this year and has a better effort. And I think it's why I don't think that these teams get in the 40s this week.
Cam, where are you ranking Creasy?
What do you mean, man? That's pretty simple to me. I think he's number one in active coaches right now in the state of Tennessee.
Over ranking?
Yep.
Interesting.
Okay.
Over Engel?
In current active coaches.
Over Engel.
I said Engel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a discussion to have.
Yeah.
I am a little biased.
This is true. This is true. All right. Other side of 6A, we got Ravenwood and Houston.
Here's the news. Water's wet and Cam is biased.
And Tyson had to be different.
Yeah, Tyson was never going to pick Ravenwood.
No.
So the Ravenwood kids watching on Instagram, he was never going to pick it.
It's never going to happen.
I'll go ahead and give you another spoiler. If you win, he's picking against you next week too.
I mean, he sends in his picks with team across 65 instead of Ravenwood written out. So
that's very true.
Coming.
Nah, Maverick, he's not happening, guys. I think this is going to be a great game. I think you have the best in the state taking on the reigning champs, and Houston maybe not as dominant as they were last year, but also we I mean, obviously, we all picked Oakland to win it all last year, and Houston took it to them. Ravenwood having to go out there again, I just don't agree with it. I think they should be at home. That's a different discussion. I think their defense gets the job here. I think Donovan Starr has a big game, and I think that 2-quarterback duo of Femi and Maverick Chance gets them past Chandler Day and the Mustangs, and we got a new 6A champion, whether it's Oakland or Ravenwood.
Chandler Day is really
Scott.
their primary offensive weapon. He's kind of a combination of both, but I think that Houston's defensive backs, they're going to be under a lot of pressure. We saw what Femi could do in his coming out party against Oakland. We know that if the running game with Maverick is chances is stopped up, that Femi will go out and he can put the ball right there, and they're going to be tested. I like Ravenwood in this contest because I think Ravenwood is just on all sides of in all phases of the game. Ravenwood is just really, really good.
Yeah, I think the beginning of the game is going to be really important for the Raptors. I think you can't afford for that Mustang team to get a lead early and get comfortable. If you're able to jump out on them, I think that your defense is good enough to ride the rest of the way out. It's going to be a great game. I think this one's going to go back and forth. But as Joe said earlier, Houston not as dominant as they were last year, showing a few chinks in the armor kind of thing. So I think Ravenwood does just enough to win in Memphis and make their way to Chattanooga.
I look back at Ravenwood's opener, going to Alcoa on the road, tough environment, and getting an impressive win to start the season. And I think they can draw off that experience in this one too. This team's built for it. It sucks having to go a long way for a road trip for the semifinals when you should be playing at home, like Joe mentioned. But if anyone can do it, Will Hester's bunch can.
Yep.
And back to 5A with our spotlight game this week. The only two area teams playing each other, Page and Springfield. And as everybody suspected, we're taking Page.
Page is doing things that nobody else has done defensively out there. And now their offense is just getting better. And as much as Springfield, apologize to him and everything. And I believe in Page. If I'm Springfield, if they were playing anybody else, it might be different. But this Page,
I just want to put it in perspective. Okay, 24 points, 13 games. That's 1.846 points per game. Any form of scoring, and they beat you.
That's where I was going. That's they're just playing different. But Chris, if I'll be glad to apologize again and mean it. If they pull it out. But I honestly just think that this Page team, last year and the last couple of years, just has hurt them and driven them so hard that they have a singular focus, and that focus is Chattanooga.
Brendan Ains told me at the end of the Knox West game last year in a very scary fashion, we're not losing next year.
Well,
we're winning. And I said on our show after Chattanooga, I wasn't picking against Page this year. As hot as Springfield has been this year and as many weapons as they had, I think Page has the weapons, especially with Weebush that's okay. Everybody picks against the Jack. Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to pick a team that's undefeated and only giving up 1 point per game. It is what it is. I just think Page they haven't given up more than 10 points right now in a game.
Yeah, and I know being on the sideline last week that a lot of the Springfield players and coaches and fans feel disrespected. And don't take this at all as disrespect. You guys dominated Beach last week. Dominated them. But this team has been different all year. This ain't a team that just got hot late. This team has been the clear cut number one team in 5A the whole season. Can you win the game? Sure. You are playing great football right now. Great football. But this Page team is a totally another level. As good as you played last week against Beach, you got to play better.
I wonder, and we can maybe agree or disagree on this. I do wonder if Beach got caught looking ahead last week at all.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. And that Yellow Jacket team, Dustin Wilson, at the end of the regular season, they think their season's over at that point on the field after the regular season finale. He tells his kids, if we do get in, they don't want to see us. They already, in a certain extent, had Beach circled.
Yeah.
They weren't even in the postseason at that point. They had to have Henry County beat Hendersonville.
Yeah.
And they already knew that they had the potential to get back to play Beach.
Yeah.
And they did. And there were some comments after Beach's win over Southwind by some players, and it was a clear look ahead. I mean, they were making comments on Page. Guys, you have to play another team before you get to Page. Now, did that play a huge factor in the last week? Probably not. I mean, just because Springfield literally come out and just dominated from the jump. They were not going to be denied.
I truly hate this notion that if we don't pick your team, we're not respecting them.
Yeah.
It drives me insane.
Yeah, Joe, I'm going to take the ball on that one. At this point in the season, you can no longer claim disrespect. That's BS, and I'm not here for it. You got to play good teams at this point anyway.
And
so stop crying.
To the Springfield fans that may be saying that, I also had several Springfield fans tell me last Friday night, hey, thank you guys for what you do. You guys have been on us all year. We have. While other outlets have not looked at Springfield, we have talked about them from the jump. We said they were the best 5-5 team in the state, and they've proven us right.
100%.
And here's the thing. Go out and win this week.
Yeah.
Go out and win this week.
Yeah.
And
I think the winner of this game raises gold at the end of the year.
Yes.
I said it last week. I said it on our scoreboard
right
show.
here.
I think I'm unbelievably excited to get to Springfield. I'm going to get out there early. I'm ecstatic. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be great. You guys are going to have a great atmosphere. I'm going to have a great atmosphere. This is going to be a great game. And that's why I went low with my score. I said 17-9 because I think this is a defensive slugfest. Yeah, these two teams match up really well with each other.
Yep.
The thing for me, Springfield fans have a lot to look forward to, not just this week, but next year as well. They drop down to 4A. They're going to have a stacked team coming back. And even if they don't win this year, it's not the end of the world. And this Page team may be the only team that has more momentum than Springfield does right now, because that momentum started 12 months ago, whereas Springfield's momentum started 7 weeks ago. So I'm taking momentum.
I will be there. Chris, I'm sorry. I will be there.
I will tell you this though. Page better not be looking past this to anybody.
Oh no.
Because
at the same time they haven't been anyway.
Springfield is playing with house money right now.
Yes.
There is no pressure on them whatsoever. They can go out and play their game. And that's what they need to do.
I think this is a great comment because I think it goes to both teams.
Yep.
Page hasn't looked ahead to anybody all year. I don't think they have. I just think they take care of business. And you could argue Springfield is the same way. I mean, they finished the year 5-5. And realistically, they should have been 9-1. And then, like Cam said, they were dead in the water.
Bryant makes a good point here about Springfield hosting the semis, and I was up there for a semi a couple of years ago. The last time they made state, actually. Now, Springfield's one of the top environments in the mid-state for me. I mean, they do it right up there, and
we had
place to win.
Coach Rathbone, I think, was talking to you, Joe, this morning at practice, and it's kind of a blessing in disguise for that Page team that they've had to play the starters all 4 quarters the last couple of weeks, because they were so dominant throughout the season that they didn't play a whole game.
Yep.
If maybe they were a little bit more dominant in those 2 games the last 2 weeks, I may have actually flipped this big. But because of the fact that they've had to come out and play all 4 quarters, their focus level is exactly where it needs to be.
This is a full circle moment for me too. So my first year in Jackson, the semifinal game I covered was Springfield at Haywood.
Yep.
So to get a cover game at Springfield it's kind of a cool moment for me.
Yeah.
It's when they had Fat Cat, I think was the kid's name back then.
Yeah. Oh, Johnson was his last name.
Yeah, the running back. He was a monster.
Bryant, help us out here. And I know you know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah,
no, I'm excited. This is the most excited for a game I've been in all season, admittedly. So it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be a fun week.
Yep, going to be a good one. And
it's gonna be cold as hell.
We've spent that's the thing too. Get the hot hands ready. And Dayron Johnson, yeah, thank you.
Dayron Johnson,
yes, he was fantastic. Absolutely. All right, so we've spent a lot of time on these games, and we still have. Oh, by the way, Reggie's Rescue Pick of the Week is back as well. Last time we saw our furry friends over from the Humane Society of Sumner County, Week 11 was not kind to them. It took them to a losing record for the regular season, but there's still hope for them.
Barney, he is a 7-year-old beagle. He was actually on the euthanasia list out in Macon County, and we had an open spot, so we wanted to pull him because he's a very sweet boy, really wants his chicken. But yeah, he's great with other dogs, good with kids, loves people. So, and he's pretty compact. So he's kind of the most ideal dog, really. He's got a little bit of some skin allergies we're working with, so just a couple baths and some time, and the fur will grow back. This is Barney.
Okay.
Ready?
All right. So this is for Paige and Springfield. All right, Barney, go to it. Barney has selected the Page Patriots.
Oh, you knew it was coming. You knew it was coming.
That dog, if I didn't have 2 young cats, that dog would be here right now.
Now you know why I don't go. I can't. I just cannot do it. If that one dog is still there, I swear to God, I'll go adopt him. Don't tempt me.
Well, do me a favor, folks. Go out there and adopt some of those so we don't have to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll have more next week as well. All of our area teams that are in Division 2 or championship games will have some more special picks for those as well. Quick note, next Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, not Wednesday, we'll be on the road to go into Chattanooga. So no show Wednesday night. It'll be Tuesday next week. So make sure to tune in for that. And then we will have a scoreboard show Saturday at 9 o'clock. And it may not be that long, but we'll be here. And we hope you join us as well. One more word before we get out of here, before round 4 instead of round 3. And I don't care who starts. Scott, I'll let you go.
Well, bundle up. It's going to be the weather gods are smiling on us. No mention of the dreaded, I'm not even going to say what letter it starts with, but it is going to be a cold front coming through. So bundle up, bring a blanket, get there early if you're going to Macon County or Springfield for certain. For all you people traveling to out west, please be careful. Please return home safe. Good luck, and grab you some barbecue on the way back.
Yeah, as for like the disrespect thing, it's not just the commentary. It's just you see it a lot, and I'm just like, God, guys, nobody is not directed to anybody here. Bryant, yes, that is 100% what happened. I remember it well. Really looking forward to get out to Springfield. I love that field. Excited to see a bunch of great people on the Springfield and Page side. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I will see you tomorrow morning, Page folks. Looking forward to a really good breakfast and getting to see those boys practice again. We got some stuff going on with that program that's going to be exciting to see. And God, I can't wait for this game on Friday. It's it's old school fashion football, and hoping hoping some of our teams take care of business so we stay busy in Chattanooga next week.
Yeah, typical postseason here. I mean, as far as guys, there's guys playing their last football games ever. Act accordingly. From a personal standpoint, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Remember what Thanksgiving is supposed to be. It's about giving thanks. Give thanks to family, to friends, to I know I want to give thanks to all the players and coaches that have done interviews and sent in stats and done everything that we can even hope that they would do to help us be as good of a group as we are. And thankful to all these guys on our panel. Not only the three that are with me tonight, but also Tyson and KJ and Isaac. This has been an Ethan. Ethan's going to be over at Oakland Friday night.
He won't be.
He won't be?
No.
Well, darn. But he has helped us at Oakland, so shout out to Ethan. But yeah, I'm super grateful and thankful to work with you guys, and it's been a great season, and ready for Friday night.
Yeah, I echo that sentiment, Cam. It's been a great year and a lot of fun, and we've still got more to come. I'm thankful for this crew. We can't do this without everybody pitching in and doing their part and providing their expertise and their nonsense as well. It makes this what it is. And but also thankful for you listening and watching at home or wherever you may be. It's for you that we do this, and it's without you that we couldn't do this. It's a great time of year. I would love to be at Page Springfield, but I get to cover a home game in the semifinal for the first time ever, and I'm not passing that up. So I'll be in Macon County tomorrow morning for practice, and then up there Friday night for a historic game up there. So good luck to everybody playing this week. You deserve to be here. You've earned it. And whoever gets to Chattanooga, best of luck to all of you. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. And that's all I got, man. That's all we've got for this edition of 615 Preps Live. So enjoy the holiday. Enjoy the football Friday night. 9 o'clock Saturday morning. Be here for the scoreboard show. Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. Not Wednesday, but Tuesday. Be right back here as we get you ready one more time for the Blue Cross Bowl championship games from Chattanooga. For Scott, for Joe, for Cam, for the rest of the guys who are not on here tonight, I'm Chris. We are gone. Have a great holiday, and we will see you soon.